Hello, friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. Sounds like some kind of stone junkie. Like, give me some of that stone, dude. I'm hurting real bad. Oh, you got some of that white blue for reals? That's some of the good stuff. The bloody cheek of this person wanting something for nothing. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. It's free, right? It's free because I asked first. Well, here's another well-deserved choosing beggar story. It's an ongoing story for 2 weeks now. I just had to share because I love, sarcasm, when neighbors come up and ask for free material. Backstory. I bought my first house about a year ago. Yay me. And this year I decided to redo the fence for more privacy. Unfortunately, due to the heavy rains all last month, delayed much of the fence work. This week, I bought the stone and concrete and began to work. There's not a lot of space in the backyard, so most of the material's in the driveway, hence why some random strangers, neighbors included, will come up to me and ask for free material. However, there's one that takes the cake. Me and CB. Me minding my own business and working on the fence. CB. Hey, are you giving away free material? Me. No. Who are you? CB. I live 4 houses down. Me. Oh, so we're neighbors. CB. Yes, and your fence is coming out beautiful. Me. Well, thank you. It took me a while to find a white and blue stone to match the house. I'm currently working on it myself. Me. I don't even know your name. CB. It's... insert CB's name here. Me. Well, I don't want to get your hopes up, but I made sure I didn't buy any extra material because it's non-refundable. And if I do have extra material, I might give it to my sister. Sorry. CB. Well, I asked first. Really having no patience, nor don't have the time to explain why he can't have it, I say, me. I'll see. But like I said, I won't have extra material left over because I measured. CB walks away. I thought it was the last time I'd see him. I was wrong. After work, I'd go home and work on my fence for 3 to 4 hours, applying the material and concrete myself. He would catch me working on the fence and ask the same damn question. Remember, if you have extra material, it's free to me because I asked first. Also, can you help me make my fence after you're done with yours? I would answer the same. I made sure I have no extra material, and no, I won't help you because I'm usually tired from work. Yesterday, I was working on my fence, and guess who walks by? CB across the street watching as I work. He comes and starts measuring my fence. I look up puzzled and confused until I say, "Excuse me, what are you doing?" CB comes with the tape measure. CB, I'm measuring your fence, making sure it's in your property line. Also calculating to see how much extra material you'd have. So it seems like you might have 4 boxes of stone left over. And that means I'd have to buy 3 to 4 more boxes. How much did a box of stone cost you? Me. Excuse me, but I'd appreciate it if you'd stop bothering me. I'm working on my fence. If you need material, go buy it at insert store location. And please stop bothering me. CB. But how much did each box cost? Me. Go to the store and buy material yourself. A few hours later, I'm still working on my fence. CB comes up to me mad. You didn't tell me each box cost XX dollars. I look up to him and said, well, I love the stone and I work really hard to buy myself stuff. CB. But I don't work and I need it free. Please. Still working on the fence, I purposely dropped some material on the floor. CB. What are you doing? Me. Leave me alone or I will continue to break more material. CB. But remember, I asked first. As he walks away and crosses the street. And our second story. That time I drew a weapon on a road-raging Karen. A few years ago, I, 32-year-old male, was driving down my rural 2-lane highway with my kindergartner daughter in the back on the way home from picking her up from school. It's only about a 2.5-mile drive, which means I was on the road for a grand total of about 3 minutes. Halfway through the drive, this car comes out of nowhere and begins riding my bumper. Now, I'm driving a little fuel-efficient Yaris, and this car has a real big back window, and this woman was driving so close to, at 60 miles per hour, mind you, that I couldn't see her headlights or even the front half of her hood. I ignore her gestures and erratic driving because why should I care? I've got a grand total of maybe 90 seconds left before I'm home. So, F her. This would have been fine, except I came over a blind hill and saw a school bus coming to a stop with the "Stop, there are children in the road" bright red flashing lights on, and that big stop sign that extends into the road is in my lane maybe 100 feet in front of me. Now, I didn't slam on the brakes, but I'll be the first to admit that I did brake rather quickly because, kids on the road. She very nearly hit me when I braked, and while stopped, I could see her in the rearview mirror screaming and punching her steering wheel. Now, I've definitely got my eye on her. After the school bus pulls away, I proceed down the road and turn into my driveway, which is a quarter of a mile long and goes through the woods, and stop at the end of my driveway to collect my garbage can from beside the road. That's when I hear tires squeal, and I look up to see that she's stopped in the middle of the highway. She makes eye contact with me, and she shrieks, "My husband is going to F you up!" Okay, whatever. I move my trash can, and as I'm getting back into my car, she slams her car into reverse. Internally, I groan because this is about to become a huge issue. I yell out at her, "Don't you dare come onto my property, just go away." Inconceivably, she shrieks, "This isn't your property!" She puts her car into drive and quickly accelerates directly at me. I know from my security training, I'm a veteran, that a motor vehicle is without a doubt a deadly weapon, and this woman has now, 1, voiced an intent to kill me or have me killed, and 2, is now pointing what's essentially a deadly weapon at me with the safety off. Playtime is now over. My daughter from the backseat of my little car is terribly exposed should Karen choose to ram us, so I decide then and there that it's not going to effing happen. I draw my little 9mm in the low ready position, and with my free hand point back at the highway, I boom out with my old super serious NCO voice, "Stop or I'll shoot you." Literally half a second away from me raising my weapon, which means about 1 second away from discharging the weapon, she slams on the brakes, her eyes wide as golf balls. She quickly reverses back into the highway and squeals out, "I'm calling the law!" Side note, I know the rules. The moment her tires left my property, I holstered my weapon. Whatever, I was already dialing 911 when she reversed, so she parks in the middle of the highway and eventually went and parked just down the road from me. To make a long story short, the cops arrive, and after verifying that this is my property and I'm licensed to carry a weapon, they tell me to have a nice day. The Karen apparently told the cops that I was swerving around trying to prevent her from passing me and that she never tried to drive up my driveway. She also told them that she didn't think this was my property because what country boy drives a gay little car like that? Her words, not mine. Sound logic there, Karen. During the ensuing investigation, a detective asks her, "So why did you drive up his driveway?" And she replies, "I don't know, I just got lost in the heat of the moment." Boom, she just admitted to trespassing and road raging without knowing it. The detective calls me and asks if I'd like to press charges, which I decline to do. I don't care about her, I just want her to F off and leave me alone. I tell the detective as much, and he closes the case. And our next story. I towed a guy's car from my parking spot. My university is in a city around 50 kilometers away from my home. I have a good road connection and don't mind driving every day. I rented a room for me near my university just for emergencies if I don't want to drive. Probably because I'm crap-faced, but let's say emergencies. I have this room around 6 weeks now, but am rarely there. Last week, I wanted to go out in the evening, so I wanted to park my car, but my spot was taken. I had to park on the street, but saw the owner of the car exiting it the next day. When I asked him, he got defensive and said, because I'm rarely there, he can use the parking spot. I didn't want to escalate this, so I just told him to park his turd on his spot. Well, I checked almost every day now, and the car's still parked there. I also gave notice to the building manager. She told me she talked to him, but he didn't show any sign that he would stop parking there. Yesterday, when I wanted to go out for Halloween, it was still there, so I parked my car in front of his. He really didn't like that, and because the both of us were pretty drunk, it got really heated. Small update. My building manager gave me the written authorization to call a tow truck in my name. Went to the flat this evening. Little man's car was there. Towed his car. Let's see what tomorrow will bring. That behavior is so blatant, disrespectful, and uncompromising. He had 1 million other chances to change his behavior. And our last story. Fire me from my job with no notice? I'll ruin your entire company. So, start of December, I was let go of my job because they didn't have the time to train me for the job role. I needed to take out a loan to survive as it took me 3 weeks to find something new. I was hired for customer services administrator role, and as I'd never done that type of work, I was told I'd be given full training on job. The girls in the office never bothered, and I simply learned the job myself. I was told my performance was more than they expected, but suddenly I was called in the office at 8:30 a.m. when I arrived and told they were really sorry, but they didn't have the time to train me, so I'd be let go immediately with no warning or notice. I was completely shocked by this. To add, my contract stated I was to be given 28 days notice of termination. The company I work for uses government grants as a form of payment, so they would regularly claim to have done certain things they haven't to make profits from the government, such as forging signatures and lying about what work they've done to gain more funding. Basically, we get funding on government for providing services to lower-income customers. That's all I can say. I was involved in a different department, but shared an office with the department responsible for lying about profits. It's a small company, and the director would constantly hassle them to forge signatures as we can get the jobs through quicker, and if we had an audit, he'd go to prison for what was being done. So when I got laid off, not by manager, but someone who worked same level in my department, I was absolutely livid that they dragged me in a 60 to 80-minute drive for me to leave 2 minutes later. I got home and immediately called the fraud whistleblower helpline. Nothing came of this until a week later when they wanted more details. Thing is, I'm very good at being silent and taking in my surroundings. I was able to tell them which accounts had been forged and lied about. I also had considerable email evidence of what had been going on. So long story short, majority have lost their jobs, including the people who couldn't be bothered to train me and went running to the director to fire me, including the director who's now being investigated for fraud and facing time in prison and a massive fine. Always live by the mantra, F about and find out. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.